award we've received from the Association of Corporate Counsel is a tremendous compliment to both our client and our law firm. Well, our relationship with HIROC goes back more than 25 years. We began with them, and we've over the years formed a true partnership between the client and law firm. Well, we received the award because this association, which is made up of corporate counsel, has made it its goal to recognize creative, innovative relationships between clients and law firms, and to recognize efforts to streamline and provide value in legal relationships. So it's not just time for money, it's actually value for services, and to provide the client with something more than just a service, to provide them with commitment, to provide them with something that actually works to help their business. Because of our long-term relationship with HIROC, we've got certain practices, we've got certain built-in knowledge around how we serve that client. And so we've been able to provide a service that is more streamlined, to provide a service that actually can be evaluated. And by actually partnering with the client, it has economies of scale for both.
When we were founded, one of the most important things for us to get was good legal services. And of course, Borden, Ladner, Gervais were first and foremost well known for the medical malpractice work they had provided. So we chose them as our lead counsel, and in fact our only counsel for all of Ontario. A few years ago, we looked at how we were interacting with BLG, and we were pleased because we were dealing with them far more closely than a typical lawyer and client work. We spoke to the lawyers on a frequent basis. We tried to get inside their skin and know what was important to them, and they were doing the same thing to us. And it was very successful, but we thought that we might be able to do just a little bit better. So one of the things that we did was to apply some of the more unusual and esoteric business approaches to try to set up our relationship as more of a formal partnership than as a pay-as-you-go legal services agreement.
So on this arrangement, what we have sorted out with HIROC is that there is a base fee that is paid every month, and that's predicted in advance. And then in addition, there is a certain percentage that is designated as a bonus, and there are key performance indicators against which we're measured every 6 months. And so there is an exceeds expectations, a meets expectations, and a does not meet expectation outcome on those key performance indicators. So of course we strive at all times to exceed expectations, and if we do that, then we get the performance bonus.
Our estimates are that over the 5-year life of this contract, we are very likely to see savings slightly in excess of $20 million. These are monies that are generated because of the different efficiencies that BLG has come up with and the different efficiencies that HIROC has come up with. And jointly we're using them to make a more efficient method of providing services.
I think BLG really does see itself as partners with its clients, and it recognizes that we are here to serve the needs of the client and the outcome that the clients are seeking to achieve. And I think that when you're in an alternative fee arrangement and or some sort of flat any kind of thing that moves away from a lawyer determining how much time the lawyer is going to spend into some sort of predictable system of billing or fee assessment, I think it inevitably brings the two sides together to have a concrete discussion about what is it that you want, how do you expect we're going to get there, and how can we do it together to make sure we achieve that.
Our Adroit program is something we've been working on and developing for the last several years, and as I say, there's been a natural intersection between our long-term relationship with HIROC and some of the work strategies that we've been developing with them. I think any firm operating in 2013 has to address these kinds of issues and has to develop some very strong performance strategies, and they have to do that in a concrete way, not just abstract.
Today's legal environment is a much different one than it was even, say, 5 years ago. A lot more pressure on clients, our clients, to manage their budgets internally, their legal departments. And we've had to respond with better price predictability, cost predictability for our clients, the challenge of delivering quality legal services versus doing it in a cost-efficient manner. There's a bit of a yin and a yang, if you want, in respect of that challenge. So we've looked at how to manage work differently than maybe in the past by being more communicative, open to communications with the client, leading to optimizing processes that we've used in the past in collaboration with our clients to come up with maybe an improved way of delivering services that have more of that cost predictability embedded in the process. Clients are starting to see the benefits. What we are seeing from clients is an appreciation of the better communications that these processes have brought to files. We're seeing some opportunities for cost savings, and we think there are more opportunities. And generally, I would say clients like the fact that we're being innovative in looking at new ways to communicate how we're going to deliver our services and the processes that we can bring to the table. What's been really exciting over the last couple of years are the number of projects we've engaged in with clients and some of the results we've been seeing. We have a number of clients that have to defend personal injury cases across the country, and we developed a personal injury process for one client on a fixed fee basis that we've been able to use in many other situations. Intellectual property is another area where we've been able to develop patent prosecution processes much more efficiently. Prospectus renewals is another area. On average, the savings is between 12 to say 18% savings for clients when we've engaged in this process.